Good evening and welcome to the Doctor and Athlete Podcast. I'm Dr. John Harmon, and I'll be your host this evening as we explore and shed a little light on this new light therapy technology, this phototherapy patch, this global phenomenon, this winner of the 2025 Global Biotech Stem Cell Innovation Award. This little patch right here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see where the plug is and the battery. Oh, wait, there's no power source visible, is there? People say, Dr. Harmon, how can this be a phototherapy unit if there's no power source? Well, there is a power source, and I'm going to explain that to you. Stick around. You're going to find out what powers this patch. This patch that is known to elevate a very important peptide in your body that's known in the literature since 1977 to turn on very beneficial pathways in your body, so many that it's known as the master key that unlocks lots of doors in your body. Before we get started, I want to make a statement about although I am a doctor, I'm not your doctor, and nothing I say tonight should be interpreted as being medical advice for anything that you have going on or any kind of treatment or protocols or regimens. If you Before you make any changes, you should always consult with your healthcare provider before doing so. Tonight, by the time I get finished, I hope that I've been able to give you enough information that you will be able to check these three boxes for yourself. Number one, does this patch work? I hope that I show you that there are patents for this technology and all of this information that you can check that box. Number two, could this technology work for me? Number three, could I also share this technology with other people? After all, someone invited you who cared about you. Maybe they invited you because you maybe can't get a handle on your health. You have something going on, maybe nobody's been able to figure out. Not that we're going to figure it out for you, but maybe you have supplement fatigue. You're taking a lot of things and nothing's helping. There are thousands of different unnamed things that people can get because of the complexity of what they have and the overlay of different organ systems. Can't put a name on it. Maybe they thought they could help you remind your body of what it was supposed to be doing and let it take care of business on its own. Maybe it was for other reasons. Maybe they saw you working too much, not being able to spend a whole lot of time with your family. Or maybe you took on a second job. Maybe we talk to people who have taken on a third job because they can't make ends meet. There's a lot of uncertainty right now in the world, and I heard some very disturbing statistics about AI a short while ago, and that was AI is supposed to be as smart as we are, humans, next year. And they're saying when that happens over the next, they don't know how many years because it's improving so quickly, but they're saying that up to half of the jobs, the current jobs, could go away. Maybe you have one of those jobs where you need to consider and maybe start planning a plan B while you still have your plan A. That's what I did 6 years ago. I still had my practice called Clear Mind Idaho. I helped people with brain issues, and LifeWave grew so much for me because I love helping people with their health, and that's what we do in LifeWave. That now I transitioned and sold my practice in September of last year, and now I get to work wherever I want to work. In fact, this last week it was from the beach in Cancun. That's why I got this tan. Fun places talked to a lot of people, the help in the hotel. Some of them are joining my team, and that's just how it works. You can do it anywhere in the world. It is so much fun. It's been such a blessing for me in my life with my health. I'm not making claims about heart health, but it so happens that tonight you have not only myself, but the other doc on this call had huge shifts in his heart health as well. And I was telling him before we got on Zoom, and I said, I don't even know where my glasses are. I haven't worn them for 5 years. I used to have bifocals and for far vision as well. And so when you can remind your body what it was supposed to do and kind of activate those pathways, then it just takes care of it on its own. I didn't go into it saying, hey, help my heart, make my vision normal. It just did what it needed to do. And here I am 6 years later, not feeling like my heart's going to pound out of my chest when I walk up the hill behind our neighborhood. And the doc that I'm going to introduce will tell his story. We do have yet another special guest, and I really enjoyed talking to him a few minutes ago. Before we do that, I want to just read a little bit about him. I have a few notes. I don't have his stuff memorized yet. Let me find that. There it is right there. Okay. Doctor, he doesn't like to be called doctor anymore. He likes to be called Jeff, but out of respect for what he's accomplished, I like doing that. So his licensure, Dr. Jeff Nelson, osteopathic physician and surgeon, has licenses in Pennsylvania and California, board certified in obstetrics and gynecology in 1998, American Osteopathic Board of Obstetrics and Gynecology, American Osteopathic Board of Obstetrics and Gynecology slash Reproductive Endocrinology Infertility Division, board eligible, and is retired now, just like I am. You have two retired docs on the call tonight. Dr. Jeff, can I call you Dr. Jeff instead of Dr. Nelson? I'll just call you
You can.
Dr. Jeff.
You can. You can. It's kind of funny.
Welcome to
People say Dr. Nelson. I say I only make my kids call me Dr. Nelson.
yeah, you're right.
Um,
That goes over
go
great,
ahead.
right?
Yeah.
I jokingly say I only make my wife call me Dr.
Okay.
That goes over great. Welcome to the show. I enjoyed talking to you a little while ago. We'd love to hear your story. Please tell us how you came in contact with this technology and what it's done for you.
Okay. No, thank you very much for having me on tonight. I really appreciate that, the opportunity. And so yeah, I guess I still am a reproductive endocrinologist. I'm just not practicing now, but I was in Pasadena, California. Very proud of my practice. It was HRC Fertility. I was the third guy in, but by the time I left, we were one of the largest fertility practices in the country. So I was very proud of that. But my wife Priscilla and I, who's also on tonight, we've always had kind of an entrepreneurial spirit, and we love the field of health and wellness. And we had a couple of goals. We always wanted to try to serve people in their health and wellness. Um, and we wanted to really serve them by kind of approaching things that people seem to desire, wish, and pray for the most, which are physical health and financial health. And so we always tried to find either a product, a technology, or a service that would had a track record that had proven ability to have life-changing capacity for people's health, but also was attached to a business model that could also profoundly impact their financial health as well. And so we've been doing that for about 7.5 years. We did it as a professional health coaching service. But being in that health and wellness world, eventually I started seeing this patch coming up. And I really initially, honestly, kind of embarrassingly, thought it seemed totally ridiculous because there's no way such a small device like that could have such a profound impact on so many different body systems that people were saying it did. And that's really because I was trained in kind of the classic Western paradigm, really pretty much all biochemistry, nothing about light and energy. So I didn't know about that. And I kind of say that I kind of felt prone to the ignorance of arrogance because I didn't know about it, wasn't trained in it. I just totally dismissed it. But luckily, Priscilla and I have a friend of ours who is certified in all things health, nutrition, fitness. He's a bodybuilder, owns gyms, but we frequently consult him about our nutrition, about our supplements, about our exercise. And we saw that Casey was wearing the patch. So we thought, let's talk to Casey and find out what this is all about. Thank goodness we did, because it's had a profound impact on both my life and Priscilla's life and all the people that we've been able to also introduce this to. But for me personally, I had heart surgery back in 2015, and interestingly enough, it was the same heart surgery my father had when he was my same age, that he unfortunately ended up passing away on the operating table. So I had that same surgery. I recovered fine, but I was left with this persistent dysrhythmia, an irregular heart rhythm. And it wasn't life-threatening, but it was very disconcerting, thinking that, I always noticed it was there, and you always knew that something wasn't quite right. And so I heard David Schmidt, of course, the inventor of the patch. He was doing a YouTube presentation about 6 weeks into a study that he was doing. And he said that he was noticing after 6 weeks on the patch, people were noticing, or he was seeing, a functional reversal in cardiac age of 2 years. And I thought, I'm in. It's not expensive. There's no contraindications. I have absolutely nothing to lose. And so I went on the patch hoping that it would do good things to my heart. And unexpectedly, within a month and a half of being on the patch, I converted completely to a normal sinus rhythm again, a very regular rhythm. I started the patch in November of 2024. Within 2 months, normal sinus rhythm, which has persisted to this day. So that to me was kind of my first
Remarkable.
meeting. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, one other thing, if it's okay, that happened. This is a recent thing, which I think is sort of indicates that you need to really give the patch time, because things progress and things pile up over time. But I also was on a medication, Prilosec, for really bad gastroesophageal reflux. And I was on it for almost 20 years. And I tried to get off that on several occasions, but it was unbelievable. I couldn't tolerate it. Priscilla tried to help me. Every over-the-counter medicine we tried, I was unsuccessful. And finally, about a month and a half ago now, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this again. And it's been a little over a month now, and I've not ever gone back on that medicine again. And so the only thing that's changed in my life has been utilization of the patch. So, so those are kind of the things that have occurred with me, Dr. Harmon.
Those are remarkable. I was just talking to someone today about the reflux and the things that can lead to with
Yeah.
esophageal cancers and all kinds of things.
And the
Even just the
medication,
use of Prilosec over a long period of time.
exactly, have a lot of side effects. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you were predominantly X39.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, now it's a whole bunch, but to start out, it was X39 and Eon. Those were the two things that I
Yeah,
primarily.
those of you who are here for the first time, we don't want to confuse you. Get back to the person who talked to you.
Yeah,
That yes, there are some other ones. Our flagship product obviously is the X39. If you can, if once you find out what it does, you know, you'll understand that.
yeah,
Whereas it activates production of your own regenerative cells, so
yeah.
that's pretty foundational for sure. Dr. Jeff, are there any, is there anything that you would like to add to what's happened with you and your wife since you started using these, or any recommendations for people, thinking about this?
I mean, I personally, the whole thing about half our stem cells are gone by age 30. I'm 68. I kind of joke that I probably had two stem cells left. But I was actually reading a book, and it was called The Body Electric. So the nice thing about doing this, it's motivated me to look down at some different things educationally that I was never exposed to, which is light and energy medicine. And the gentleman who wrote the book was an orthopedic surgeon, and this should have dawned on me a long time ago, but his attending physician told him, he realized that we don't, doctors, healthcare practitioners, we don't heal anybody. At best, what we can do is try to support the body's ability to heal itself. And, our bodies are losing that capability as we get older. And the beauty of this patch is it is really the most powerful way to support your body's natural mechanism of healing, which are your stem cells, the way we were designed to do it. So to me, there's no better thing to support your health and to help you with whatever might be happening to be going on with you at this point in time. So I really shouldn't, I guess, say healing, but to support improvement in what you have going on, but also is probably the best preventative tool you can utilize. So I will never be going off the patch. And there's nothing like continue not only reactivating stem cells, but making them act like younger, healthier stem cells as well.
Wonderful. Beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. I think people got a lot of information and they feel your authenticity, being a doc and coming from it from that standpoint. We'll have to have you on again and talk about further changes that come your way.
Yeah, no, there's been a bunch of other ones, but then you say too many things and nobody believes you anymore. So those were my highlights.
Down in Mexico, when I was talking to some of the staff, this was yesterday. They said, "How old are you?" And I said, I'll be 72 in a couple of months." And they looked at me and they said, "You should see Mexicans at 72." I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so what is this patch? Let's dig in a little bit deeper. We got your appetite, we whet your appetite, and I'm going to share a screen. And I mentioned being able to share this with others, um, because everybody needs it. So I'll show you the website that you would send them to. This is how easy it is to share. It's called Why the Light. This is our website. After 10 years of stem cell research and over 200 global patents, this technology came about. And I love these sentences right down here. We discovered a way to use light, not chemicals, to signal your body's own cellular production. It's like flipping your own body's repair switch safely, effortlessly, and from within. So people ask, do you really have, over 200 patents? Do you have over 80 studies? Yes. You can measure those things in the body. Now, here's what you won't find, you doctors out there. You're not going to find the traditional test a drug against the disease that you're looking for. These patches have wellness. They're wellness devices. They have clearance, FDA clearance for wellness devices. So LifeWave test, does it increase your energy? Does it increase this? Does it improve this rather than curing diseases? Because we don't do that, remember? We help your body take care of business on its own. Here's a diagram of the patch. This inner circle, it says internal fabric reflector. What is this? This is a crystal structure that does not exist in nature, that was developed by the inventor, the scientist, David Schmidt. And I want you to imagine going into a jewelry store and you walk up to the diamond cabinet and there's always a bright white light shining on them because they want them to pop. They want to get your attention. And you get really close and what do you see? You see colors. The diamonds are clear and you see orange, green, yellow, purple, blue. What the heck is that? Well, in the white light are all of the wavelengths of light, and the ones that appear as colors are interpreted by our eyes and our brain as colors. So imagine this, your body is the bright white light. The crystal structure is the diamond. It takes the energy that you emitted into it and reflects back the needed frequency known by the inventor to turn on. It's like with a light switch, your little GHK copper peptide factory. GHK copper peptide factory. When I started researching it, there was so much information and it wasn't really fun digging through all of that information. So I decided to write a book. There are 18 chapters with 91 references to the literature on all of the research that's been going on since 1977. It's 27 years before the company LifeWave even existed. That's how much science knows about this peptide. Well, the researcher targeted being able to signal your body to make it on its own instead of getting an infusion, an injection, or a pill, or a lotion, or a cream. That's how it works. You put it on your body starts making that peptide, period. End of story. That's what happens. It does one thing. We make no claims about what the patch does because it does one thing. It elevates your GHK copper peptide. If you want to know what the benefits of that are, it's in the literature. Scientists have known it for since 77. No side effects. This is the 3-minute video we send people to. If you're talking to your friend or coworker, or neighbor, family member, and they tell you that they have something going on, all you have to do is say, you know what? I think I found something that might be able to help you. Go to this and watch this 3-minute video. Send them whythelight.com and have them watch this 3-minute video that we're going to watch right now. I just want to make sure that I have my sound on. Sorry about that.
Since the beginning of time, light has sustained us, fueled our growth, and shaped the world. Even Einstein recognized that everything we are is made of light. But what if we could harness the light within us, not just to live, but to renew, restore, and rejuvenate? As time goes on, we begin to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Energy fades, sleep declines, and healing takes longer. The reason? Our stem cells, the building blocks of renewal, become less effective over time. Since 2004, LifeWave has been delivering groundbreaking technology to help the body do what it was designed to do, only better. Introducing LifeWave X39, the first product in the world that activates stem cells using our body's own light. Backed by clinical research, multiple patents, and over 10 years of stem cell research, LifeWave's founder, David Schmidt, achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and regenerative science that others, despite years of research and billions in funding, could not. The result? A revolutionary wearable light technology that unlocks the power of activating our own stem cells with a single, safe, affordable, non-transdermal patch that puts you back in control of how you look, feel, and perform. Here's how it works. Unlike traditional light therapy, which requires external light sources, X39 uses the body's own infrared light. When an X39 patch is applied to any point on the body, our infrared light is reflected back into the tissue, sending a signal to the brain, activating a powerful peptide, GHK copper peptide, known to activate our stem cells. These younger, more effective stem cells then go to work, enhancing energy, relieving pain, improving sleep, accelerating recovery, and promoting healthier hair and skin. Unlike drugs or chemicals, X39 works naturally, awakening your body's ability to heal and thrive. Whether you want to boost energy for your busy life, recover faster, or simply feel your best, X39 supports your body's natural renewal process, helping you live long, live well, and live young. No matter your age or stage in life, your body is capable of more than you realize. It's time to unlock your full potential, restore your vitality, and embrace a healthier, more vibrant you. Be the light with LifeWave X39.
All right, 3-minute video. That's where you send people. Don't forget that. Very, very, very simple. So why the light? I mentioned how the frequency of light reflected back into your body turns on your little GHK copper peptide factory, and then it goes to work. But what are the benefits of that? It's not a quick fix. When you're talking about regenerating and repairing things, you have to give it a little time. It's not like a drug where you take a blood pressure drug and then your blood pressure goes down. That's tweaking that's interfering with your bodily processes and your that are supposed to happen on their own. Why do doctors give drugs? Because your body's not doing something and they're trying to make it do the thing that it's supposed to do. Our message is let's just get the body to do the things it was supposed to do by reminding it with this little light signal to turn on that pathway. GHK copper peptide. Let's dig into that just a little bit. Dr. Lauren Picard, way back in 1973, the year after I graduated from high school, was doing experiments with the GHK copper peptide. You know what they found? It reversed the age of old liver cells they were experimenting on, and they started doing things that young liver cells did. And so they thought, wow, there's got to be something to this. And everything came from that. So one of the most important things you'll hear me say tonight is this. This peptide is known in the literature. It caused, right here, GHK caused adult stem cells to start producing again, and it produces more stem cells and resets stem cells to a younger, healthier state. That's what the doc said. Reset the old stem cells. My stem cells were 66 years old when I started using these 6 years ago. And people often say, well, I've heard, why don't I just have, they can drill into your iliac bone, your hip bone, and they can extract marrow out and spin it down and get your own stem cells. I said, yes, you can do that. Quite painful, quite expensive. Those are old stem cells. If you do it when you're 66, you got old stem cells being re-injected into you. Why not activate your own body to make brand new ones and reset the ones you have to a younger, healthier state? Skin and hair, huge changes in the literature about this. GHK tightened loose skin and thickens older skin. That sounds kind of weird at first, didn't it? Thickens older skin. But if you get older and your skin gets thinner, you bump something, it tears. I had patients come in for 35 years. They'd come in and they'd have these little things. Did you have a fight with your cat? No, I just bumped the wall and the skin tore. Well, the GHK helps repair that. It helps repair or decrease lines and wrinkles, protects from UV radiation. I mentioned that I went to Mexico. That's a huge thing that GHK does, is helping protect the skin so you can still be out there, get the vitamin D. Men have androgen receptors on their upper traps. We get testosterone. It's not just vitamin D and melanin. We get all kinds of other things, melatonin. We get all kinds of great things when we're out in the sun. GHK accelerates wound healing. Anti-fast growing cells. I think we all know what that means. No claims are made here by LifeWave, but here's what I can tell you what the research says. It helps reset the cellular death cycle of some cancer cells. It helps turn off 25 genes you can be born with that would predispose one to getting fast growing cells. It was tested as the top bioactive compound out of 1,309 of them for fast growing cells in the colon. Read the literature, all kinds of stuff. Again, no claims made by LifeWave regarding fast growing cells. Lung protective. Right here it says out of the 1,309 bioactive compounds, it was the best for chronic pulmonary issues. The research says COPD for protecting that, protects the lungs from damage. When you get older and you can, walk fast up a hill or run up a hill like I can, and my lungs work, my heart works, there's just so many things to be said about that. Maintaining your vitality and vigor as we age. Huge antioxidant. Brain and nerves. This is why I used it in my clinic, Clear Mind, Idaho. there was so much information about the benefits for brain that I had to break it up into 3 chapters. All of the rest of the organ systems had 1 chapter in the book. The brain has 3. One of my big goals in life, maybe this can be yours too. I want to remember who I am when I'm old, and I don't want to be meeting a new person in my house every 15 minutes. GHK copper peptide helps accomplish that because it helps regenerate and repair, and it's necessary to transport copper up into the brain where it's needed to make neurons, neurotransmitters, synapses, another substance called BDNF. You've all probably heard of neuroplasticity. That means making new neurons and changing the brain and adapting to what we're doing and help us do it better. You have to have that BDNF. In order to make that, you have to have copper. GHK is what transports it up through the blood-brain barrier to get up into the brain. Additional actions. I'm gonna magnify this for you right here. This is so important, especially with 2 docs who've talked about their benefits with their heart. Look at the 2 bottom ones. Reduced, it helps to maintain fibrinogen levels at normal levels. Fibrinogen is the substance that makes our red blood cells a little sticky. They have to be a little sticky in case you get a little cut or a little bleed. You have to be able to clot. But if the fibrinogen level gets too high, in fact, if it gets high, you're 2.5 more times likely to have a stroke. Well, it is the GHK copper peptide that affects a gene that's involved in making fibrinogen, and so it keeps it in check. Increased myostatin. Myostatin actually inhibits heart failure. What are the 2 causes of heart problems? Stroke, myocardial infarction, or heart failure. So huge for benefits for the heart, and many more. You should go and look it up. Just type in GHK copper peptide on Google or PubMed, and you'll see all of the benefits, or a lot of them. I took all that information and put it into a book so you could get that easily rather than digging through the research. I'm going to play these very short, a few testimonials, and I want you to pay close attention to the way this gal right here says the name of the person who told her about this technology, because this is not sold in stores, it's person to person. So the people that may have gone through your mind as we're going through these, and you're thinking about people you really love and care about in your circle, and we all want to help them. Just think of the effect. And at the end of your life, there are certain people you think about who've made a big impression on your life. And what do you think that Barbara, what do you think, how that affected
I was saving for my 20th stem cell treatment, and Barbara showed up, and she put 2 patches on me, and by the time we finished talking, I was able to lift my legs much easier. It was amazing. And so I canceled my appointment, and I've been wearing the patches every day since.
I still love that. And Barbara showed up. So we need to show up for somebody. There's somebody out there who needs you to show up. Here's another one.
Also had a very large breast lump. I put the patch right on it, and I felt it shrinking. And by the 2nd month, it was completely gone. Haven't had anything since. Now I'm turning 75 in a couple of days, and I feel more like I'm 35.
What about this guy? Works in the beauty industry. Well, where'd he go? Oh, where did it go?
My tendonitis on my elbow right here flared up. And 5 years ago, it was so bad that I would only work a few hours a day. I grabbed it, I placed it right there where the pain was, where the tendonitis was. And that pain went down to a 2, and I moved my arm like normal.
So you talk about being able to work and provide for your family. I met a furniture salesman at a furniture store. I was talking to our salesman, and he heard me talking about the X39. He stopped so that he could tell me how these patches helped him stay working even after three fusions in his spine after a car accident. It was really, I'm really glad he stopped and told me that. So how do we wear it? We put it right here on the back of the neck, the X39. We wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Why do we do that? Well, the body gets used to any light therapy. Think of it like you're filling up a bucket. The bucket is full. You can't make it more full. Take it off for 12 hours and put a new one on the next day. The patch itself will last about 24 hours, so you can put it on your pet or a plant. It'll do the same thing for them. Put a new one on the next day. What to expect? Go to this website, Why the Light, read through these. But in the first few days, about 1/3 of your genes start to reset to a younger state. What does that mean, younger state? Well, our genes go through a process of what's called oxidation from all of the chemicals in the air and X-ray. Lots of things can cause it. Even just toxins in our bodies can cause damage to our genes. Well, the GHK repairs that. Cellular repair. Your brain and energy start to come into balance. Collagen gets repaired. What's made of collagen in our body? Anyone? Anyone? Everything. Even the matrix of our bones, the protein matrix is made of collagen. 12 months later, you'll see huge, huge changes in yourself. Take pictures of your skin, take pictures of your face, and take pictures of your hair. You geeks out there who want to read the studies and patents, this is where you'll go. You'll scroll down to this video of David Schmidt we're going to watch. You click right there. It opens up into a whole new world, just like the movie. David Schmidt, I want you to watch this very short video and gain an appreciation for the person, the scientist. You'll get to know David a little bit by watching this video. If I can enlarge this, there we go.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There is more information there than most people would ever realize. I was 8 years old, and my parents wanted to take me to the workshop of Thomas Edison. On the drive back home, I said to my dad, I want to be an inventor. Light, as it turns out, is the primary control mechanism for everything else that happens in the body. What if we could have an external electromagnetic field that would essentially reset the stem cells that are already in our bodies and get them to function like younger, healthier cells? What if in the process we actually found out that in a book that was written thousands of years ago, that information already existed? God has left his fingerprint in natural design, and that blueprint shows up in nature. The mathematical codes are identical. The implications to this are absolutely extraordinary. What drives me is that there's this enormous sense of hope that we can create technology to generate clean energy, that we can have foods that aren't genetically modified, and we can meet all of the needs on the planet that we have to, and that we can heal people.
You just got a glimpse into the future of what David has already invented in those last two things that he mentioned. That's for another day that we'll be talking about that. So, how do you get these and what does it cost? All those questions. All right, we're going to magnify this a bit. So, people have different ways that they want to start using these, either as a customer or what we call a brand partner. And that is someone who's actually enrolled in the company and chooses to share this with others. So you can purchase you can do a one-time purchase of the X39 for $149.95. I wouldn't recommend you do that because using this for 1 month would be like stating that you want to be in a bodybuilding contest, but I'm only going to work out for 1 month. It takes about a year to do that. Well, you have to give your own stem cells a chance to kind of first tear stuff down a little bit to rebuild it in a stronger, healthier state. So I would definitely recommend that you either become a preferred customer, or if you think you're like the type of person that, man, if I find something good, I want to share it with the world, you'll want to join as a brand partner. Either way, once you do it on a subscription, it's the same cost and you get wholesale cost. Whether you do it as a customer, it's $99.95 a month for a 30-day supply. And the difference between a customer and a brand partner is only that as a brand partner, you can start building a team and you have your own website. We pay the same price. You don't have to pay any special fee to become a brand partner. You simply purchase different packages of product. But here's the interesting thing. This is the cheapest price you get on these patches in these enrollment kits. So here at the core, and you can see it's listed the X39, but also a patch called the Aeon. Let me explain why that's even on here. We don't mean to throw a bunch of information at you and confuse you, but the X39 can help your body take care of inflammation over a little bit longer period of time. If you have an excessive amount of inflammation, it's important that you add this patch because it decreases inflammation rapidly. Why is that important? Well, stem cells are attracted to inflammation like a moth to a light. But if the inflammation is too great, it's like a moth to a flame and they die because of all of the excessive inflammation. So if you know that you have a lot of inflammation and you want it to go away faster, add the Aeon. And that's why that's listed here. So here at the core, you get $300 worth of product for $295. At this one, you get $600 for $535. You get $1,100 for $975. And what is that? So this core would be enough for one person for 3 months or for two people, combining, depending on what you get. This would be more for 2 or 3 people. This would be for a family. This one right here would be for you practitioners out there. You want to have some product on hand because people are kind of impatient sometimes. They want the product right now. Or if you're going to be a fast builder, and you can say to people when they order some product, here, I'll loan you some and then pay me back when yours get in. Either way, get started. It doesn't matter which one you start, where you start. You can upgrade to the next one later and simply pay the difference between the packages. Get with the person who invited you here tonight. They can get you all of the information about these packages, about the patches, and they can show you your best options. But give them a call. But also, I want to issue a little bit of a challenge. Those people that you thought of, you might be the only person in their circle who finds out about this in time for them to find out about it, to help them with an issue that they have before it gets worse, or maybe, even worse than that. So if that resonates with you, that you love to share this technology and help people with their health, talk to that person about becoming a brand partner. If not, just become a preferred customer and you'll get it at wholesale too. Thanks for coming, everybody. Dr. Jeff, thank you so much for coming. I enjoyed your testimonial. I enjoyed getting to know you. We'll be back next week, same time, 6 p.m. Mountain. That's my time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And every week we interview a doctor or an athlete on this podcast. It's been my pleasure tonight. Dr. John Harmon. We'll see you next week. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye. Bye-bye. And thank you, Don LaChance, for being my co-host. Bye-bye, everybody.